Harlan, I want to start by asking you, you're obviously a prolific writer in another medium, this one as well, but transferring some of what you do so well on the page to a series is something that I'd love to hear you talk a little bit about. And maybe Danny, kind of working as, also in the writer's room and stuff and developing, I'd like to hear you chime in at some point. But Harlan, if you could just start talking about what it takes to transfer that from mystery novel, skill-wise, to series.
Well, Lazarus, of course, is different because it wasn't a novel. It started from the ground floor, and I was able to get these guys in earlier than I would have done in a novel. But part of it is you have to also let go of, you have to kill all your darlings. You have to understand that TV is one medium and books are another. The kiss of death, if you write a book thinking, ooh, this is going to make a really wonderful adaptation. And I've been really lucky, and people have also asked why I love so much of the UK stuff, but it's really these two people, another guy, Richard Fee, who's not with us today right now, that have made it so much easier and so much better because they get it, they understand what we're trying to do, they understand how to move something. You can't be interior. I have a lot of action sequences in books that are very interior. Now we have to make them exterior. And so all of those challenges come into it, and trying to let go and understand that now you're collaborating. I'm no longer writer, director, producer. I don't do the lights, the sound, the key grip, whatever a key grip does. I still don't know. Someone explain it to me, and release all of that out there.
When you say they get what we're trying to do, can you articulate a little bit what that is?
Nicola, explain the vision better than I do, what we're trying to do with the shows. Okay. No, because Nicola explains it better than I do.
Well, first of all, we want to entertain an audience, and we want to make an audience not be able to stop watching. The reason that we wanted to work with Harlan in the first place is because you can't stop reading his books. So we wanted to transfer that feeling of one of those, I'll just have one more chapter, to I'll just have one more episode. And it was literally, that was our ambition from the off. So then when we get the beginning of a story from Harlan, and when Danny inputs those characters and that dialogue, and we all work together to kind of make them bigger and richer and then build on it, it just feels like that's the I'm not going to say the magic sauce because that's terrible, but that's like the combination that works.
Yeah, Bill Nye, I was just talking to him, and he said that what he loves about the books is that he can't stop, and he thinks he knows what's going to happen. And he said, while you guys are shooting, you felt the same way. It's like, I can't stop. I don't know what's going to happen next.
Did you tape that? Can I see that? Can I see that? I'm just like to see that. Make sure you write
Danny,
that up.
I want to, when Harlan talks about going from interior to exterior, that's a big, there's a show, don't tell, all that stuff that happens in screenwriting that's not, or telewriting that's not happening in a book. Can you talk about taking some of that and that process, taking from the inside to the outside?
Yeah, of course. This is slightly different because we were working from an original story, so there was a lot of story creation in the way that you would for any TV show, because we were kind of in a room and we were talking about, how that story was going to unfold. Whereas, when we're adapting one of the novels that already exists, we've got the novel, which is always great, and then we kind of, decide, well, how do we want to build upon this? We sometimes, for example, in The Stranger, we added a whole new strand about the kids, for example. We built upon the cop character, and we kind of built it out like that. But that's a different process to what we've done here, which was very collaborative.
The best example of what he's talking about, like when we did Fool Me Once, Adil Akhtar, who plays Detective Kearse, in the book is just a cop, really has very little else to do, and we gave him an entire strand of a story involving an illness and his getting married and all of these things that was not at all in the book, that we kind of created from whole cloth. And it became so strong in my mind that I then wrote a novel that was a sequel to the TV show, but not the book. It had nothing to do with the book, but was off of that novel. So I think that really answers your question of how these things start to get intertwined as we go through
I'm still waiting for the royalties.
I was going to say.
Shut up, Danny.
And the interior thing is because often we do have a conversation where we'll say, oh, in the book, Harlan's character tells us exactly what he's thinking, and you can do that.
Yeah.
And for the series, we'll often have to invent a friend or a conversation that hasn't happened in the book, or do some kind of very visual dramatisation of what they're thinking,
That's
which
right.
you don't have to do in the book because books are
But we
easy.
we do
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, they're cake.
Yeah.
We do sometimes do this funny thing. In fact, we did it yesterday, where we were like, there was a line we were talking about, and we sort of looked at each other and went, "Was that in the book, or did you make that up in the script?" And we were like, neither of us could really remember.
I love it. I have to wrap, but I find this stuff fascinating. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Nice
Thank you.
talking to you.